and welcome back to another Sims 3 speed build. So first up is a shout out. I apologize, but I really don't want to incorrectly say her name, but she says thanks so much. That was posted on a tutorial that I had posted a while back about saving your game during a certain save error that occurs in Sims 3 sometimes. So, what I want to talk about is this build. It is actually a collab, and I did a collab. Actually, I was asked a couple weeks ago by the Pixel Simmer if I could do a collab with her, and we were talking, and we decided, spice things up a little bit. Why always do the same collab all of the time, where one builds and one decorates? In this case, we chose to go off of a floor plan that does not have any exterior photos. As you can see, the picture that I have in the top left hand corner is the only picture that I had to go off of. I didn't know anything else about this house, and we were supposed to create a house and decorate it and design it the way we thought this house would look if we were to have a picture to look at. So I will leave the floor plan up for a little while so you can see it while I am building. It was definitely interesting, this house. But before I forget, this house is actually on a 35 by 25 lot. It will cost your sim approximately 92,000 simoleons, and if you get it unfurnished, it will cost approximately 54,000 simoleons. Now, we can get on to talking about the house. The house, I actually end up changing lots. I changed lots to a different one to make it a little bit bigger because I ended up finding out that I actually had no room. And so that, as you can see, I think the lot now, I think has been changed twice already in the video. And then I actually will go and move the house forward because, again, I didn't like not having, almost no space in the back. And you'll see me do that. In fact, I think we already saw parts of it where it looks like I have double walls. So, but anyway, like I was saying, we did not have any idea on what this house was going to look like. We did not know what colors it was supposed to be. In fact, we didn't even know if there was brick or stone or anything even on the house anyway. So this is just my interpretation of the way I thought this house would look if there was a picture to look off of. And it was actually quite fun. I have never done a challenge. I guess it is kind of a challenge, but I've never done a collab like this before. And like I said, we built two separate houses and we both furnished our own homes, and then we shared pictures with each other. And what was really neat about this was we got to see how similar our houses were, but at the same time we got to see how different the houses were. Just being able to see the way one person looks at the exact same photo and sees them interpret it a little bit different than yourself is just really neat. It was really fun. I really enjoyed this challenge. I'm glad this collab. I'm glad I did this with her. And of course, make sure you check out her video. I will have all the links to her channel and her video once they're posted. I will have everything in the description for you, so be sure to check out her so you can see how this house turned out on her channel. Now, if you stick around to the screenshots, which I know most people do not, but in this case, I really recommend waiting for the screenshots. And the reason why I recommend it is because I posted a couple of pictures, not a whole lot, but just a couple of them to give you a small little sneak peek of what her build is going to be. And you'll be able to see, I put them side by side, well, not side by side, but like you'll see one picture of hers, and then you'll see the same, not really the same, but like the same angle kind of a picture of my house. And you'll get to see a little bit of how they're different, and you'll get to see how they're similar. And it's just really neat to do that. It's just something, if you ever get a chance to do something like this, I really recommend trying it because it was really fun. And it was super exciting to share photos, and it was really nice. I really liked it. So Anyway, on the house, so we can talk a little bit about the house. I am not much for one not to put windows in houses. Like, it was really hard for me not to add a bunch of extra windows in this house. Basically, this house doesn't have hardly any windows. And in fact, I changed some of the windows in the back bump out area of the house, which is kind of where we're looking at here. I only put 2 windows back there, but I actually put them in a different spot than what the actual house plan says to have them, just because I felt it would look better that way. But you have no idea how bad I wanted to add windows all the way around the house. But the house plan does not have all of those extra windows. And it just really, oh my gosh, it bugs me. All these new houses nowadays, they don't have windows. Like, the one entire side, like this, just both sides, for instance, of the house won't have any windows at all. It's like, I realize that most houses have air conditioning. I realize this. But doesn't anybody ever want to open their windows? Doesn't anybody ever want fresh air coming in their home, have their curtains blowing in the breeze? I do. I mean, am I the only one who wants windows all around my house so I can open them up to smell the flowers and to feel the warm summer air come through? I don't know. That's just the way I am, and it was really difficult for me to build this house and not add a ton of extra windows because I really wanted to. The other change that we agreed together was, since this was just one floor plan, of course, didn't have an upstairs. This house actually, the floor plan comes with staircases for an upstairs. We chose to basically eliminate the stairs and just make it a one-story house. So that will be why at the beginning, when you've seen the floor plan, it had a section for stairs. We chose together not to do an upstairs. That way, we just did a one-story, and it's just interesting to see. I mean, when you watch her video, I definitely recommend watching her video. And in fact, at the time of this recording, I haven't even seen it myself yet, and I look forward to watching it. And it was so much fun. I got to see some of her interior pictures, and just to see, it was so neat to see the similarities and the the differences between the houses. It was really fun. It really was. It was just, I don't know, it's definitely a collab that I will definitely remember doing for probably a long time, because it was a lot of fun. It was different, and I enjoy doing things a little bit different. I don't like being like, I don't want to do things that everybody else is doing. I like to do my own thing. I've always been that way, where I very seldom follow what other people do. So it was just a lot of fun. So, but anyway, just doing my basic landscaping. I'm not really a landscaping type of designer. I really don't have a clue what I'm doing. I just throw trees and bushes somewhere and hope they look good. I have actually been told over on Mod the Sims that I need to remove trees when I go to take pictures, because I tend to put so many that they can't see the front of the house. I was actually told with my secret Victorian that I created that I had to remove all my trees for the pictures because you couldn't see enough of the front of the house. And yes, I do tend to do that. So, anyway, like I said, my landscaping, I don't really do a whole lot. In fact, I don't even know if I put anything in the backyard. One of the other things that I did that was just a little bit different was, this house was originally a 2-bedroom, but I made the second bedroom into a office instead. So, I mean, the room is still there. It still has a fake closet. I didn't decorate closets this time. I just decided not to. I don't know. I don't always want to do closets. I mean, your Sims can't use a closet anyway, so really there's no point. So I just blacked them out. All those little rooms that have doors and they're blacked out is just a closet. If you want to, color the walls and turn it into something else, you're free to go ahead and do that. It's not going to be a problem. They're just blacked out. That way you don't really pay much attention to them. So, Your Sims are not going to want to try to go in there. There's nothing in there to attract them to go in there, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. As you can see, you can kind of see the way the layout of this house is going to be. I haven't done a corner-like counter like that in a really long time, and it was fun to do. So to kind of spice things up a little bit. So I kind of felt like this house was not too traditional on the inside. I used different wallpapers that I normally use because I just felt that this house looked like those kind of wallpapers. So that's kind of why I chose them. The decorating is fairly simple. I mean, I don't think I overdid it like sometimes I tend to do. But I do use, at least I still cluttered, I think, if I remember correctly. I almost can't remember the build, and I just got done with this last week. It's crazy, but, yeah, my cluttering I don't think was quite as extensive as what I normally do for some reason. I don't know. Also, you'll also notice it's where that closet, that door, and everything right in the front of the front door. I put that there because that's actually where the stairs are supposed to go if I were to create it as a 2-story like the plan technically suggests. So what I did was, instead of a staircase, I put, like a coat closet, linen closet, whatever. That's basically where you would put your shoes and coats and extra blankets and whatever else that you would use in the house. So but I tried to have everything as close to similar to the actual original house plan as possible. There is a few things that I did notice that ended up being slightly different than the original house plan, and that was just the bathroom and laundry room that is in the hallway next to the kitchen is slightly disproportioned. The laundry room is a little bit bigger, but I thought, you know what? It's a little bit bigger by 1 square. It's not really, that wasn't that big of a deal, and in order to fix it, I was going to have to change the kitchen and the dining room and move it back an entire square, and I had already decorated it, and I thought, you know what, I don't care, it's just off by 1, it looks good, I don't mind. So that is the one thing I would have to say that I think is slightly different. So, but other than that, I like the way this house looks. This is definitely a house that I would probably use in my own game, actually. So, I like the fact that, I like building houses a lot. I like doing different things, having it a little bit different and maybe spicing things up a little bit. But at the same time, I like the houses even more when it's a house that I will actually use in my own game. And this is a house I would have to say that I would probably use in my own game. Like I said, it's easy to be changed back into a 2-bedroom, and it doesn't cost too horribly bad. I mean, 92,000 simoleons isn't too bad, and if necessary, you can get it for 54,000 and get it unfurnished, and then add your own furnishings and stuff, which is, I would have to say, is rather nice about The Sims 3, is your Sims can move into the house without any furniture, and it doesn't cost quite as much, and that just sometimes makes it nice. That way, I always decorate, unless I'm doing a collab, I always fully decorate my houses, or unless it's a starter home, because myself, I prefer to be able to just take a house and plop it in my world and know that my townies have a house that they can move into and have everything that they need for their Sims. I'm not really a big fan of, I have downloaded houses before and then I put them in and come to find out they have nothing in them. Like, they'll be completely empty. There'll be absolutely no furniture whatsoever. There won't even be, I usually try to put on my description that it is empty. That way you at least are aware of it. But there was some that I have downloaded that never even told me. And I plopped it in my world. And I went to visit my Sims friend. And I had moved in that house. And they go over there and there's nothing in the house. I was like, oh my gosh. These poor Sims have been living in a house that doesn't even have a bathroom. And so... I kind of felt bad for my Sims. So, Ever since then, I just always make sure that my houses are fully decorated, that's just the way I am. And the way I see it, if you want to decorate your own house, then just have your Sims buy it unfurnished, and then there you go. Get it for a cheaper price and furnish it yourself. Me, my build and buy mode just lags too much. Trying to load up all the patterns and the colors and all the objects. It just, oh my goodness, I would much rather just not to go in and do anything. I'd rather the house just be done and I don't have to worry about it. So everybody's different. Everybody's preference is different. The way I see it, if we were all like the same and we were all the same, then it would be an awfully boring world. So that when I was spinning the camera around just a minute ago, that's when I happened to be looking and noticed that the laundry room is actually off just a little bit by 1 square. As you can see, I put 2 extra counters right there. That's the extra row of squares that is not actually supposed to be there, which means the garage would be 1 square shorter. And it just pretty much means the whole back of the house would scoot up 1 square. And I just did not want to redo the kitchen and the dining room, so that's why I kind of left it and said heck with it and decided just to put counters and stuff with a coat rack where you'd be like drying your clothes basically. So, and I also apologize if you notice that the camera all of a sudden zooms in really close to the house and then comes back out. That's actually currently my mouse. It's, I don't know, it is the wheel on the mouse, the scroll wheel or whatever those things are called. I have adjusted my mouse's sensitivity on my Windows. I have double checked it more than once. I have it at the lowest setting as I can put it, and I have restarted my computer several times, reloaded the game. It even is doing it in my Sims 4, but it's worse in Sims 3. But I can't use my scroll wheel because it zooms extremely close and extremely far away. There's like no happy medium. I can't even scroll through my objects anymore because it like scrolls it all the way to the bottom, and I have to actually go to the little arrows on the right side of the object bar thing or whatever and manually hit the little arrow, which for me is kind of frustrating. And I have to use my keyboard keys to zoom in and out, which I'm not used to using those, so sometimes I forget. And then when I'm spinning the camera around, sometimes the wheel must get moved just a little bit and it'll zoom in on me really fast. And that's kind of what was happening in the build. So it's still going on. Like I said, I built this house a week ago. I've done another build since then. And I don't know. I don't know what its deal is. All I did was do some changes on my Windows, do some updates and stuff on it. It changed all my settings. It deleted my Sims 3 option settings and all that. And I had to fix all that and my music, and it changed my mouse settings, my speaker settings, and even though I've changed my mouse back to what it's supposed to be, it still has not fixed it for the game. So I don't know if there's something that I'm missing. I can't find it in the game options, so I have no idea. I have no idea. So I apologize for that. I may or may not ever figure it out. I have no idea. So, but yeah, this is the room I was telling you at the beginning that I put the windows slightly different. They're supposed to be, I believe, side by side. And if you remember at the very beginning of the video, I actually did put 2 windows back there side by side, and I really didn't like the way it looked. It looked horrible. And this is supposed to be the master bedroom. It's supposed to have their own master bathroom and a closet. And it just didn't look very good. The room was just too wide. It looked, I don't know, it just didn't look very good. So I separated them. And like I said, it was so hard for me not to add a whole bunch of extra windows. I really wanted to add a whole bunch more. So, but yeah, this is pretty much of course, this is the only bedroom. This is the master bedroom. There is 2 bathrooms in this house, so there will also be hidden laundry baskets because I did put a laundry room in. And whenever I do a laundry room, I always add hidden baskets. And if you're wondering what is a hidden basket, a hidden basket is just a laundry basket that I have taken and I have stuck it into a different piece of furniture. Have you ever had a laundry room, the washer and dryer, and the only laundry baskets you have are in the bedroom and occasionally the bathroom, so your sim leaves laundry all over the floor? Well, basically with a hidden basket, if you hide it inside of another furniture, of course, only certain furniture can you do this because either the basket will show up through the furniture or it actually won't work. But basically, it'll collect the laundry for you. That way, it's not all over the place. So, for instance, you can put them in a kitchen. Just put them inside of a counter. Like I just put one inside this bathroom. I stuck it inside the counter. Now, I had to move it around a little bit so you couldn't see it through the sink, but you don't know it's there. And all the laundry will go into it. Your sim will collect laundry from it. So I actually, as you can see, I just took it out and decided to put it in that corner. That way it, filled up some space. But I do tend to do that, and since the kitchen in the living room is open, it's an open floor plan. Hopefully, as long as it doesn't consider, it should because there's no archways or doorways, so it should. It will collect all the laundry from the dining room area and from the living room, and it'll put it into the basket that's in the kitchen. So that'll help keep the floor clean and not make such a mess. So, like I said, you can't put them in every single piece of furniture, but counters you can do that. Just stick them in there and you'll be good to go. So, the house plan originally came with only a 2-car garage, but since I had that extra space, I don't know if it was just the extra row of squares or what it is, but I was actually able to make it a 3-car garage, so you can fit 3 cars in there comfortably, hopefully. I have one turned one direction and I have 2 of them going the same direction as well. And as you can see, we are doing the last of the landscaping, the exterior lights, and the terrain paints, which usually means we are coming to the end of the video. Just doing some last final touches, just making sure everything looks good. And here are the screenshots. These are the screenshots from Pixel Simmer, and then of course the screenshots from mine. As you can see, I put them back to back, a couple from the front. And then here is going to be the back, or no, actually this is a side view, the same side view that has a chimney, and then there's going to be one that has the back of the house and the back of my house as well. So it was so much fun. Thank you, Pixel Simmer, for doing this collab with me. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, and I hope to see you all next time. So have a wonderful day. Bye.